Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rockwell, Iowa. Larry Richwine, Chase Richardson, Jason Schultz here. Happy Session 3, pumped up. Chamber acres, 80 acres of beautiful grass, gravel pits, lined out parking, 2 pulling tracks.
You mean
for
pit?
5,000 people.
Gravel's in the pits, not a gravel pit.
Yeah, not gravel pit. Yeah,
Okay.
Gravel in the pits that you drive on, Larry.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you for.
Well, I didn't know, but a gravel pit's kind of a deep hole.
I love it when Larry Richwine is my voice of reason. That makes me feel good on the inside.
It's kind of scary, actually.
We are sitting at the 21. And
there's some of
22
us that just talk, and there's some of us that think about what we say when we talk.
You know, I don't. I just kind of let it roll. And
We know.
Things go
We know.
good, so.
You've
Thank you
proved
for
it.
watching from all over the world, the country. Truck and tractor pulling is the greatest motorsport in the world, and we're excited to have you here with us here before Session 3 starts. Again, Chase Richardson, Larry Richwine. Please like, comment, or share. Let us know where you're watching from. Just go in the comments, type in Boise, Idaho, or somewhere in Indiana, or wherever Larry Richwine lives. And if you like Larry Richwine, please put a little heart emoji next to it because he's had a rough day.
Yeah.
So, and I think he needs some love. He needs some online love.
No spooning. No spooning. No hugs. No.
Chase, let's kind of recap.
Well, the first bet of the day is the over on how long it would take you to do an intro before you quit talking. It was 2 minutes. Congrats, Jason.
What a guy.
Yeah. What's better? I was just telling you all this. This is a Friday in August, first Friday in August.
Not steamy at all.
Riding home from work, doing whatever you want, maybe doing.
Look at that pouty. He wants to talk so bad he can't take it.
You may be in the venue, but what's better?
It's gonna explode.
What's better listening than the Countdown to Pulltime show? Jason, you know I love you, man. I'm sorry. You just
No homo. He loves you.
The diesel burning prop picks is getting more quality the more appearances you make. Future picks coming on how long you'll talk. But yeah, what's better than a Friday in America than the Countdown to Pulltime show? It's been warm and it's been hot today, right? It's actually been a little rainfall here.
A little bit.
What do you call that? That wasn't even rain. What was that, Larry?
That was moist. That was moist.
That was one cloud went over, legit.
Well, it was moist.
It was
One
moist.
cloud.
Yeah.
So.
It was almost like it was just adding sweat to your body when it came down, right? Yeah.
Exterior sweat.
Exterior sweat.
What's been your takeaway thus far, Larry? 2 sessions in. The over on the finish time last night, we've got finished at 9:52.
Right.
That's crazy that you
9:52.
And I said it would be over.
Yeah.
You said 10:15.
That's why you're on the
I said
stage.
10:15, yeah.
That's why you're on the stage, because you're an expert in this field. But what's your takeaways?
I'm an expert in what field? We're in the cornfield.
Yeah. What's your takeaways thus far?
I think it's been a good show. The track was a little wet last night to start, but it settled in, and the sleds compensated for it. We had some good distances. Nobody really exploded, per se. I mean, all the iron was still running for today, and I think it was actually a very good show.
What did you think about that, what we call it, the West track over there? It was very interesting. I don't know if you weren't here or if you didn't notice from wherever, there was basically one path to the run.
Yeah, there was
but
one.
The path
groove.
it was really good.
Yep.
It was a good path.
Well, and today's puller, and I hate to stereotype him, but I'm gonna. The younger generation.
You're not affiliated with anyone. You can say what you want to say here.
You don't think I'll offend anybody?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I try.
You're
Younger
worried about
generation.
offending people?
Well, the
Full
medicine's
disclosure.
working. I took an extra dose. Dang
Full
it.
disclosure.
Anyway, if they watch the track, like some of these guys today don't, but if they were actually paying attention, they knew where to go, and that one groove was the way to go. That's all there was to it. I mean, it was good for 50 or 100 foot more if it was on their game. Yeah.
What? So, this track, the where we're sitting, we'll call it the East track. It seemed like it was a little different type deal over there in terms of. I don't know if it was as good in the one path, but it was probably more consistent across the board. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you see?
It was more consistent from right to left. I mean, it wasn't one of those things that you either had to go down the highway that they built or not. I mean, you could get a good
venture
distance.
around a little
Right.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you could move around a little bit.
Yeah.
But that right track.
Well, I saw the one guy did go right in the mini rod class, and as soon as it got pulled back to the left, that's so soft.
Right.
In the middle there, but it was much more consistent track today. Again, we
Right.
saw that left line though, really on that. I call it the announcer size track. I don't know which way is
Right.
northeast, west.
I think it's
south.
west actually, but never mind. Yeah, it had one groove. That's
Yep,
all there
and
is
that's
to
all
it.
the 4-wheel drive trucks. And I was talking to one of the tech officials, you know, and like I said, what makes those 4-wheel drive trucks hop like that? He said, well, because there's a little bit of a hill, and he said the sled operator actually had to stand on the brake a little bit because the hill's about this much too much, And if the sled was pushing the truck, that's what gets them to hopping like
Well,
that.
most of them actually build a little bit of a mound for the sled to set on.
Yeah.
So it's not so hard to actually roll off the starting line.
Yep.
But when they get a little bit too much hill, then yes, they actually have to hold the brake a little bit until they get some
Is this
power.
a little too much hill here?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just the way the groove was in the track.
Yep.
I do know, like Fort Recovery a week or so ago, it was a little bit too much hill, and they were holding the brake a little bit more than normal. Yeah.
That's why it's.
I never really knew that they built the hill before.
One of the great qualities of this sport is everywhere you go is a different hill. It's a different.
You always
hill.
say it. That's why it truly makes
asphalt's made the same in California as
Right.
it is in Kentucky, but how the track
the
is
one
built
Shelton
in this
boy
sport.
and the pro mod Shelton kid, Reese or Grayson, I don't remember which one drives. Those two were going back and forth about practice. Chase like, oh, you guys get a practice.
I wasn't really going back and forth.
Oh, no, they were
I would
having
just
fun.
I would just get him real data that
Yeah, no, he liked it.
that he
liked it.
couldn't combat me.
Well,
on.
I mean, you can rent a drag strip, you make a few passes and see what it's going to do and test it. And same thing with a dirt track, roundy track, whatever you're going to do, you can actually practice, but you can't out here.
Yeah, basically they get 3 or 4 cracks at it to get into the field. You get 3 or 4 cracks at it out here, you're already 12th in points, and if it ain't working,
And there's
then
a
you're
couple
halfway
sled
through the
owners
season.
have a track that you can actually rent the afternoon, and test your stuff. But until you actually set the sled for the other competitors as well,
Right.
you don't know what your vehicle's going to do.
Right. It's almost like a dyno.
I
My
love
water
it.
set.
A lot of variables
I love
involved.
how they call it. I used to be a basketball coach, and we have games and we
Yeah,
practice.
you told
right?
me never to come to your game. You'd have security make me leave.
But you have games and you practice, and you're practicing
You did.
95% of the time, but we call it practice. These guys go do the same thing, but they call it testing. Like we're going to go test. We don't have basketball practice. We have basketball testing in the afternoon. That makes a lot of
It doesn't
sense.
sound right though.
No,
I know. I don't like the sound.
maybe
of it at all.
pulling.
We'll
we
stay
should,
with practice
let's
on
just
basketball.
let's just get pulling some cool words to call stuff, and people think we're more than what we are. But
I know the social media is working, and we see comments like, "Which night should I come? Friday night or Saturday night?" So that tells me
Never the same show.
but that tells me that's the full pole's reaching the common fan, and that's the whole idea behind all of this, to truly unify the sport and to touch base. Like, there's people that already know next year's Rockwell dates, Toma's dates, next year, 2024. Okay, that's that diehard we going to continue, but to continue to grow the sport the way that full pole wants to, and working with all these associations and take it to the next level, seeing comments like that, I get excited personally, because that tells me we're reaching a new fan that hasn't been here before. That they're not going to go. They're going to go to the NTPA website and go, well, what's a PRO and what's a SS and a. Chase loves all the different tractor synonyms.
It's whatever John
that's a
Dunlap
conversation
decides,
for another
actually,
day. We got a 2-hour complaint session about that I will do one day for
Yeah,
you. 'Cause
well,
I would love to hear you listen to me
Jesse
complain.
Petro's watching.
Yeah, that was I was going to say. We got big news. First
This
off,
is
it's
awesome.
Friday night.
I just looked over. I'm like,
Friday
it's
night,
Jesse.
and we got a bad ASS competitor going to be joining us.
Yeah.
He's
Bad double AS.
ASS.
He's kind
Ass
of a
is in the
badass
Bible.
guy. Yeah.
Ass is in the Bible. Jesus rode one into Jerusalem.
He's joining
You can
us.
say ass.
I watched him
he's
grow up. He's a good guy.
He's a big pulling fan. He knows everything. So we'll chat with him and we'll get his insider picks, because I know he's an active fan of full pull, as many are.
It's still fun.
Thousands
the amount
of entries
people,
last
the
yesterday,
amount of
too,
people
by
that
the
you
way.
walk through the pits, like, what's this full pull thing all about, Jason?
yeah.
And I'm like, get your phone out. I show them, they're like, this is easy. I'm like, yeah.
And then the
And
old
they're- it's
farts are
free.
asking me, because I guess I'm that old fart
You're
kind of
the,
guy.
you're the old fart communicator.
If you're listening here in the venue, come see us. Download the app. You get a free T-shirt. We'll even let you get an autograph from Larry Richmond if he's still over here.
That'd be awesome.
If you're not
Arthritis,
here, you can obviously tune in tonight, NTPA TV, but download the app or go to Full Pull US, play along. We spent some time earlier today visiting with some of the winners from last night. We caught up with
Les Corporal,
Les Corporal,
Theobald.
Grant Theobald, and Russ Nichols. Spent some time with them. So
Did you ask him the prop bet? Did you tell him about the prop bet? Which two-wheel drive was going to win tires last night, Nichols or Mayhill?
he
Did
was
you ask him?
was well aware.
Okay, that'd be funny.
Did he know that I voted for Mayhill's tires? I don't care.
We don't want to hurt any feelings up
No,
here.
no,
I
no,
didn't
no.
say anything.
Oh, no, I just think it's fun.
Yeah.
Because of his Nichols tires, clearly.
I
He's gonna run
personally
his
have
own
trouble
tires.
picking winners, because I worked out there at the trackside with him for 20 years, and I'm thinking, these guys are kind of my best friends, all of them, and I'm going to pick a winner. But I'm getting used to it. I'm starting to offend people easier.
That's why we call it diesel burning picks, because it's burning hot. It's not easy to do it.
Like baby
So,
powder.
Yeah, we're going to get Jesse in the diesel burn here in a little bit. So catch up with these interviews, these drivers, Les, Grant, and Russ. Here are last night's light modified winner. This guy's a gem. He's the only guy in the United States that pulled in 2 different classes last night. Light, modified, got the win, and then modified. We won't talk about that so much right now. So Les Corporal, good friend of ours. For those of you who don't know, you might have heard the name Modern. These T-shirts they wear, Modern Motorsports. We have some of those T-shirts. We have some of those tractors. We don't have any T-shirts, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, this guy is the owner of Modern Machine, Modern Motorsports, builds world-class pulling chassis and so forth, but he's also likes to have fun as a competitor. So back to the light modified class, first year into it. Tell us a little bit about your pull last night and a preview for tomorrow.
Well, what's kind of funny about it is we knew that we were about to pull 2 classes last night, so everybody's kind of razzing me about it, and they were like, oh, don't worry, you'll make 1 run. So then I was test puller and went 400 feet and pulled it back around and had to go twice in the same class, so really pulled 3 times last night. But no, both runs in the light mod class were awesome. It made 2 good laps and got lucky to come away with the win.
What's the difference in the driver's seat between driving it with 3 in a modified or light mod, this new class right now? That's something I don't know and I want to know.
I think the coolest thing about it, people don't realize, is it's 6,200 pounds, so they take all the weight out of the sled. So when you take off with it, it just takes off. You know, when you pull mod or unlimited, something like that, you've got a big load behind you right off the bat. But in that light class, it just takes off really fast, and it feels like you can get a lot more track speed also.
It's a wannabe mini rod.
It's a big wannabe mini rod. It's a big grown-up mini rod, yeah.
So Les, through 3 hooks, you have another light mod hook tomorrow, and then I think the next outing is Bowling Green. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then it's a wrap after that.
That's a wrap, yeah.
So right now, where are you sitting points-wise?
I believe I'm 3 ahead of my neighbor here, Todd, and 4 ahead of the Simon boys.
Yeah, but that's one of those just throw them in a hat and draw a name because everyone's tough in that class. But I'm sure you will be willing to be the test hook again tomorrow and run 400 foot twice if it calls for it. What kind of number do you have tomorrow?
I think I'm back down in the class tomorrow. Yeah.
So
yeah, on that note, though, it's funny that we've hooked that class 3 times now. I've been test hook there all 3 times. So tomorrow will be the first time I'm not the test hook in light modified.
But unlike elections, our drawing process and pulling is random. It's not corrupt at all, right?
No, not at all.
I don't mean elections. We're not going to talk about politics in this show. We all know that none of that is commentary worthy. Les, obviously we know you and Brad, your cousin, build these chassis. Tell us a little bit more about the program you have here behind us in terms of engines and tire program and so forth.
I run Minor Brothers Racing Engines. Doug Theobald on the Wicked team helps me with his engines. They actually used to belong to him. So Doug helps me with the engines. He's great help. Every time I run it, I've learned something new.
I've been doing this a little longer than you, and I still learn.
Yeah. So every time Doug says, "Well, this is why that happened." Oh, really? You know. So, but yeah, in my case, run 3 motor setup, 1471s, into a common gearbox, wedge chassis.
So the process. Last thing we'll leave you with. 2 engines. Obviously, it's very easily noticed that you run 2. But what actually goes when you change from the light mod to mod besides the weight and add the engine?
Okay.
Take us through the timeline. We should have get the camera over here and did this yesterday. So take us through the timeline of what happens.
Okay, so yesterday we had 2 motors on, so we had to go to 3. So we take the gearbox off. When we run 3 motors, we run direct ratio into it. When we go 2 motors, we take that gearbox off and put a gearbox with a reduction in it. We slow it down about 4.5 points on ratio.
So more than just changing a motor, you also add a gearbox reduction in as well.
Yeah, the gearbox change is like changing a transmission.
In the gear ratio you run in the light mod class is what?
Somewhere right in there.
That's always our sign off. Les, great job last night. Love visiting with you. Try not to stay up as late tonight because you got to pull at noon tomorrow. Pulling fans, we had a good time celebrating with Mr. Corporal last night, but
too much fun. Too much fun.
He said it, not me. Good luck tomorrow. Thanks for the interview. Pulling fans, we are at the Wicked Pulling Team pit. It's a little shower coming down right now, believe it or not. I guess because Grant makes it rain. You made it rain last night, so we're here letting it rain. Grant, congratulations on your win last night. You and your mother got first and second. Tell us about it.
It was pretty awesome. That was the best pass I've had all year. Getting first or second doesn't get any better than that. That was the only pass all year I hadn't hit the brake, so it's pretty perfect.
So basically, as long as if you can go the rest of the season without hitting a brake, you'll be undefeated. That's what I'm hearing.
We'll see. We'll see.
I give this guy a hard time. I've known their family, me personally, for a while, and I'm always telling Grant, you know you'd be a lot better if you listened to your mom and drove like she drove. But luckily last night, Grant came to me. He said, I showed Mom how to drive last night. But no, in all seriousness, this guy's a star in the sport. Tell us about your combination here, Grant. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but tell the rest of the world what Wicked Pulling's mini rod combination looks like.
So we got a modern machine chassis, and then our engines are Brad Anderson Hemis with DMP blowers. And then we do all our engine work in-house with Josh Miles and Roger Williams, who help us a lot at home to be able to get everything ready to go, to be able to get ready to come to the pulls. And they stay home and work while we come and play on the weekends.
Sounds like a great guy to work for. Go to work for him, work on cool stuff, don't go to the pulls. No. Grant, so your tire program, tell us a little about tires and what you know coming your family and you've pulled two-wheel drives. Talk about tires and mini rod and how impactful that is.
Tires are a big deal. We got our tires done by Bob Nichols. He's been a huge help. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have anywhere near the success we've had. He was a big part of us being able to get first and second last night. We've always gone to Nichols for our two-wheel drive tires, so we just stay with them for our mini rod tires, and it's been working pretty good so far.
So first and second, I don't know if that's been done for a long time in this class. So moving forward, it's a very competitive field. Myself, and you know that as well as anyone. But what's kind of you say don't hit your brakes, but I think we got 6 or 7 runs left in the season. What's kind of the Wicked Pulling's game plan going down the stretch here? Besides not hit the brake.
Really, for me, it's just making good A to B laps. My goal at the moment is just trying to make the Enderley. And then Mom's, we're kind of out of the championship hunt right now. We had a bad weekend at Fort Recovery, but just be able to keep making good runs and be able to get back in the chase of things.
I wouldn't say anyone's out of anything because there's so many competitors, but good luck getting Enderley. You got to go by me now to get it. Grant, last question. Tractor worked really well. We want to give fans an inside look of what makes it go. What gear were y'all running last night?
That is top secret information.
Tire pressure?
Not a word out of me.
Pulling fans, greatest motorsport in the world, but unwilling competitors to give information. Grant, congratulations last night.
Thanks,
good luck to you guys tonight. We'll do it again tomorrow. Good luck getting in early. We're here with two-wheel drive, 25-foot winner, Russ Nichols. I got to give you a hard time because that's pretty astounding. We did the same thing to Donnie Sullivan last weekend. Russ, Session 1 winner last night and Thursday night. If you notice in Russ's pit, everything's locked and closed away because two-wheel drives have an off day. In fact, it took us beating on Russ's door for like 5 minutes to wake him up from his nap. So, Russ, congrats firstly on your win last night, but what's it like not doing anything for a day?
It's relaxing. I mean, you bust butt, you're up, if you're a puller, you're up, 2 o'clock in the morning to talk about whether you did right or what you did wrong.
It's like a fisherman telling everyone how big his fish was too, right?
Exactly, for sure. So, yeah, it's just nice to kick back and relax and do nothing.
Yeah. So, obviously the two-wheel drive class, highly competitive. What was it, 36 last night or somewhere around that park. So to come out and win the class is one thing, but to win it the way you did was extremely impressive. The great part about two-wheel drive pulling, you just don't know week to week. It's a different show, literally in location and sometimes in the results too. So tell us a little about how your summer's gone to this point and kind of where you are. Obviously, you're happy after that win, but take us through a quick time lapse of 2023 for On the Edge.
Right. We started back in Louisville back in February and had an awesome run there. We won. Then we go to Farley, Iowa, and we come out of there with a 12th place. Had an okay run, just missed the weight a little bit. So then we go to Toma, and we end up being an early hook, and we went 370, and they reset the sled and give me some false readings on my setup. So I went back, made changes. Then we was too late, ended up 10th. So we still moved forward. Yeah. Then we go to Fort Recovery and got a 12th there, too light on the front end. Next day, what did I say? No, we got an 8th there, I'm sorry. Next day we get a 4th. So we're making progress. Then come out here last night and make a really awesome run, got a win. We're just making small changes. we're close,
Yeah.
you know, and just you don't want to upset the apple cart. As you know, that happens pretty easy.
Right.
So.
It's amazing you say that. Like, if someone didn't know, they would think, man, this guy just not having the best year ever. But you're second in points right now, only 4 back, as I saw earlier today. There's so many two-wheel drives everywhere you go. Like, a 10th place in the grand scheme of things really isn't that bad on paper a lot of times. But we're all competitors, and we all know nobody wants to be in 10th. They want to be, you know, in that top 3 or win by 20 feet like you did last night.
You know, exactly. That's right. You know, you go back home, you tell your buddies, hey, you know, you got 8th.
Fishing stories.
There you go. You get 8th place, and, you know, really that's good. You know, personally, no, it might not be, but in the big picture, just like you said, it is okay.
Yeah.
You know, you get 30 trucks, and sometimes there's just plain old luck involved, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. So. And it's different going and running against 10 trucks and 30 trucks, as we all know. Russ, obviously, you and your brother are big in the tire game. Developed a incredible two-wheel drive tires, seeing great results this summer. Tell us a little bit about the rest of the truck and kind of your combination for fans who may not know what On the Edge looks like outside of the driver.
It's a modern machine chassis. Brad Corporal, you know, does an awesome job. It's a Ford Ranger body, 2023 body. Ken Vinny motor, awesome power plant. SSI blower, you know, awesome blowers. Crew, Kelly, you know, that's the important part, really.
Yeah, awesome. He likes the word awesome. We're going to call it awesome on the edge. No, it's cool. Typically, you know, people see the simple things, but, you know, what makes the vehicle go, a lot of people don't know about. Russ, you know, tomorrow's another day, daytime pulling. What do you anticipate looking a little different for tomorrow?
You know, it's going to be an afternoon session, and I'm not real sure, but I think we're 3rd class. So the track's going to be a little bit drier, I suspect. So we'll probably move some weight, air pressure change, and gear is going to be iffy. It just depends on what happens there. But them are all just be, you know, 100 pounds, pound of air, minor changes.
Yeah. We're all about giving the pulling fans an inside look. So do you mind sharing what gear you ran last night?
No.
Tire pressure?
No.
Pulling fans, at least we all know that all these competitors are the same. Russ, just so you know, we ask everybody that. But you were very quick to respond to that. Russ, thank you for your time. Congratulations. Best of luck tomorrow and the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Special thanks to those winners.
It's huge. Grand National win.
I just don't understand why. I mean, this is about the pulling fans and growing the sport. Why will a guy not tell the fan what gear they run? It makes no sense to me. Jessie, I mean, I know Jessie would. I mean, we don't ask you that unless you win the event, but Jesse's told us off air he'd be willing to share that info anytime. Jesse, welcome to the Countdown to Pulltime show.
Holy cow, Greg Randall. We got the whole gang here.
We have some people just walked in.
Did we do
in the
something
background.
wrong?
Jason, again, this is not. There's this group of people here, audience around the world. We were introducing Jesse. Tim Nearing.
He's the promoter
Etiquette,
of the
sir.
North Iowa
Etiquette.
Nationals.
Jesse, thanks for joining the show.
You're
Thanks for
give
having me, Chase.
Lessons? Petro, I hope you're getting paid for this, buddy.
Yeah.
You got a free T-shirt.
Yeah, I got a free T-shirt. Most days that's more than I make. So
Yeah,
you
fair
know.
enough.
Jesse Petro, all-time wins leader, I think, ever in two-wheel drive pulling. He probably doesn't like the intro, but I think that data is accurate and real.
I'm pretty sure it's accurate.
Numbers don't lie. Good friend of mine, but also just a elite puller and ambassador and fan of the sport. Jesse, firstly, do you want to talk about last night?
We can, yeah. But it's on the internet, so it's got to be true.
Yeah.
You know. So some days go better than others, and last night did not go well. We didn't break anything, so that's a positive. They all three drove off the track. You know, it's you know, sometimes you can talk about scenarios and things that happen, and most of the time it just sounds like excuses. So, you know, it's part of pulling. Pulling is very humbling. One day you look like a rock star, and the next day you look like you don't know what you're doing.
You look like Jason Schultz.
So yeah, it's part of it. You know, tomorrow's a new day. That's how we're going to.
One, Chase. You did.
I'll
give you 2 points for that. I'm sorry.
That was pretty solid.
I was really diving into this conversation, and he just had to yell something. So,
It's supposed to be entertaining.
it is.
Please
it is a
cut
humbling
Jason's
sport.
mic
Petro's
off.
Petro's fun. He's a good dude.
Jesse, you're still, after all that, you're still the points in that two-wheel drive class. It's I won't say it's skewed, but there's been rainouts. There's not as many opportunities on the table, but Joey's truck's still first, and I haven't really see where Buckhouse.
Yeah, it fell pretty hard last night, but everybody's still close.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The way the season's structured, and it's obviously we're getting to the point where rainouts have definitely hurt the season. With just can't get into a rhythm, which that affects everybody. And then not to mention the large class numbers. There was a big class at Toma. It's a pretty big class here. It's going to be a ridiculous class at Bowling Green, like always. So
65 or 70 of them.
Some of that stuff, obviously, that affects how we approach things as far as a team. How we move forward on strategizing. Especially once we get our numbers and things of when we pull, evening or night and class order and all that stuff. All that stuff plays a factor in it. And you just have to work all the pieces of the puzzle together to try to do your best.
There's really the point system, and Larry, probably know this. There's really like 15 points is really like the moving target, so to speak. And when you get a number of that many vehicles in it,
and when you finish past 15th place,
that's what I'm saying.
You get 15 period.
And
for
it's
just
not
hooking up.
it's not a crazy thing to say a guy could win one day and get 16th or 17th the next day. So
most certainly.
If you're 15 out, and it's really not that.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Saturday night at Fort Recovery, I got 29 or 28 points because I got third, and I got 15 points last night.
Right.
What I mean? So I went from third to eighth. That quick. So and that's what happens. And there's 15 or 20 good trucks. That can win, finish in the top 5 any night. So that's. There's just there's so many scenarios and variables in play that. And some of it's completely out of our control.
Right. Ideally, it'd be 15 vehicles, and no one could ever get less than. Well, but still, it's open competition, and you're going to have those big classes.
That class is affected as much as any, probably.
Oh, out of all of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No question.
For sure. Big swings. Big swings.
Jesse, huge motorsports fan, as I know you personally. But one of the big things that you're well aware of, and everyone is basically spreading the word and the great information and all the great elements of this sport to the rest of the world. We all know how great it is, but why don't you be candid for a couple minutes? And I haven't actually asked you, but I'm willing to bet that you would fight the argument that pulling is as competitive and as great a motorsport there is anywhere once you dive into it. So I'd love to hear your take on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like anything, it's huge for us because we're involved in it, and once people come, once people watch it on TV and realize it and walk around it and talk to the pullers who are more than apt to do that, the majority of the time, they realize that it is a very huge sport. You know what I mean? It's the livelihoods of hundreds, if not thousands of people that not just when you see it going down the track. You know what I mean? There's shops, there's businesses that completely rely on truck and tractor pulling as their core business.
It's a great point.
that a lot of people don't realize. So I feel like we kind of battled that 10, 15, almost 20 years ago with some people within the industry who were all they cared about was drag racing. You drag racing.
The guys that practice is what I call them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought it was testing.
Oh yeah.
It is
testing.
I thought they was going to test.
We're gonna go test, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna go test.
Let's see if we're good 1 hour 5 times. We're good this
weekend.
Let's
run a track and test. Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's part of it. Those guys, they can see, if they have a career best of 575 and they go to a racetrack and they run 568, well, they know they improved. You know what I mean? We still go 350 feet out here, depending on the sled setting. So, and the amount of variables that are in play in pulling are so much drastically different than drag racing.
Correct.
Where they're racing the racetrack, yes, absolutely they are. But we are pulling on the racetrack, pulling a sled that changes from night to night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the dirt under it changes as a class progresses.
Right. We don't have a meter that we just stick down there and click and it tells us the grip factor.
And we're pretty mechanical. Larry, I haven't said this a lot, but I think keeping this sport mechanical is really a big deal. This is me personally, not
it's been
anything
discussed
else.
to go electronic fuel injection and stuff, but it takes the tuner out of it. We are mechanical. As far as the fuel injection and stuff like that, it's all mechanical. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I do know that it puts the tuner and the driver in it. Where when it becomes electronic, it's just a matter of a 14-year-old kid with a laptop can say that the map air sensor read or this read, and then make the adjustment on the computer.
There's beauty to it all, but that's just my personal take. Not that it matters, but
Right.
like the thing that I may have said this before, but take the biggest budget in the world, come in here. I want to be a tractor puller. I want to win the 2-wheel drive class. Write the biggest check you want. Hire the biggest personnel, best personnel you want. It's going to take you a little while.
And we've had people come into the sport like that. What's it cost, you know?
Yeah.
And money's no object, but they still, you can buy a winner, but it doesn't mean you're going to be a winner.
But
you know,
in some other, I use drag racing.
I'm looking for those people, by the way.
I know. I'm aware of it. Yeah.
Drag racing.
If I find one, I'll get a cut and I'll bring him to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
All of
10,
them.
20%.
Bring all of them.
You,
Larry.
got to share it around now.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
We're all buddies.
Yeah.
Well, except for Jason, but you know. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But no, we. But back to my point until we got
2
sidetracked.
points.
If you could take the biggest checkbook in the world and go to a drag strip, and actually it happens all
yeah.
the time. Like,
all the time.
Not taking anything away from anyone. If you have the ability and power to buy or do whatever you want, but like that should not be right. You shouldn't be able to walk in and say, I want to be a winner.
You practice on a practice tree at home with that push button.
Test.
And
It's a test
yeah,
tree.
yeah,
Tree.
test.
Yeah.
No, it's a practice tree.
It's a practice tree.
Yeah, so they practice.
I may or may not own one.
But it's a practice tree, but they go testing.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get some cool words and pulling.
Speaking of that, I seen Stevie Fast test it.
Yeah.
We need a
Big
simulator
news
built for pulling.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Put the track conditions in.
Jesse, have you got your picks in for tonight?
I do. Yeah, I actually made them about an hour ago, sitting in the trailer. I got on there and made some picks. I looked at the lineup there when I was waiting to come on here, and some of my picks are pretty early in the class, so that doesn't always, that's not always hateful. So
how do you feel about the prop games? Right?
Oh yeah, it's
They're fun.
interesting. Yeah, it's
Hey,
fun.
So back on the 952 finish last night, it was brought to my attention. No, hang on. There was a guy last night who was running on both tracks and kind of stalled the show for about 5, 6, 7 minutes. And I was getting called out like,
Oh,
dude,
really?
You're the one who screwed up the show. And I was like, you know what? I probably did. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I took the under.
Yeah,
You picked the under and you made it over. I picked the over.
Yeah, I picked the
See,
over.
now all those conspiracy theories are
Yeah.
coming out now.
Yeah.
Yep. Chase has
Yeah.
got the fix in on
That's
it.
right. That's right.
Let's go through the diesel burning prop.
I want
picks.
to. I want Jesse's
Yeah.
book of knowledge and pulling. I want to hear it.
Light
Let's make this
Superstock.
Jesse and Larry's picks.
I agree.
All right.
Neither Jesse, Larry, welcome to Countdown to Pulltime.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
That's
I-
enough.
it's-
Okay.
it's,
Thank you.
Let's go. We're
I
on
feel
time
like
constraint, dude.
I haven't talked in a while.
Yeah, I know. This is not your
and
part of
I
the show.
feel
Let's
like,
get going.
Jay, sometimes
You feel left out, do you? That's what we were going for.
It's been rough on me.
That's
Like,
what we were going for.
I've had a rough day. Light Super Stock team head-to-head. Yield Express, which is a Whitworth tractor, and Bin Buster, which is another Whitworth tractor.
We're aware of that.
Versus,
I'm sorry, I had
he's a
to.
two-wheel drive truck guy. I didn't know.
I'm well aware.
Versus the Chiswick tractors, considered armed and dangerous, and A&D excessive force. Who do you got?
Well,
You want to go Team Whitworth or Team Blackburn?
Colton and Scott, those tractors run very well. Lance Blackaby works on those tractors, and I deal with Lance a little bit at
GMS?
at my employer, GMS. So Lance is a sharp guy. Those tractors they ran really well last year. I think they might have been struggling a little bit, but it's hard to count out them Chiswick tractors. Is Cody driving one, or is
Yeah,
Josh?
he is. Well, no, I don't know. I just have the tractor.
Yeah,
number.
I
Sure,
don't-
yeah.
Josh.
I'm sure.
I'm
yeah.
there if Josh is here.
Yeah, I didn't figure Terry was. I didn't know if Terry was going
Nope,
to drive.
I
Josh
think
told
so.
me he's in.
Okay,
So we're gonna go
So I mean,
A&D.
I'm gonna have to pick the Chiswicks
Pro Stock.
for now.
I
Red
didn't, I
versus-
didn't get the pick. That's okay.
You're still important.
So
Che-
Larry,
Chiswick.
sometimes God just takes the wheel.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
So
Isn't
what
that
are
a
you
Carrie
saying?
Underwood song?
I knew what you were gonna say already. You were shaking your head the whole time Peter was talking.
It's Chiswick's show.
Come on.
I'm sorry. Cody's doing a heck of a job driving.
Pro Stock. Red versus green. Loud and Heavy Mac Daddy versus Billet Binder Workhorse.
Green.
Are we talking?
No,
we're
we're not.
talking
I didn't wanna say
sheet
that
metal
on air.
colors.
He told me red or green.
Red
It's-
or green? Sheet metal colors.
Sheet metal.
It'll be
Yeah,
green.
Who wins?
Yeah, no curtains under the carpet type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with green.
Yeah,
green.
Larry Richwine.
Yeah. What you calling to me?
Hogan, me. Hello, Larry. What's your pick there, son?
Green.
Green. Okay.
I actually said it before you asked me.
Total semis that don't go past 300 feet. Over under at 0.5. You want the over
Seven.
or the under?
There's 7 of them in
7
it.
trucks.
7.
How many? Do you think there'll be basically none that go past 300? Do you think they'll all
there'll
go
be
past-
one that doesn't go 300 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so.
I-
There's going
I
to be
like
one.
that.
Yeah, I mean, especially the way the sleds. The
Yeah.
way the sleds.
I'm gonna talk slow for you, Larry, because I can tell it's
That's
it's
good.
working.
If we-
Red versus green, winner of the Super Farm class. Red Case International or green John Deere. So just flat ass, just red or green.
Red.
Okay,
Red.
red. You just say that because Rich Wayne said that? Pete,
No,
or-
just sheer numbers. You know, there's not a terrible amount of. Well, I mean, there's a few. I guess Seatsma.
There's a few.
Yeah,
The-
Seatsma.
There's a reason for the picks.
Yeah.
They don't need
Tony
to disclose
Seatsma's
that they have
tough.
the picks.
Yeah, Seatsma's tough, but I
it's
mean,
red.
there's
But it's
several really good red tractors here.
This is the best class in pulling diesel super stock tractors. Total.
Yeah,
diesel
I've
super
noticed.
stock-
I've noticed that on the
Carry on.
Facebook page.
Carry on.
Yeah, he's changing. Yeah.
Total diesel super stocks that don't go past 300 feet. Over 2.5 or under 3.5? 2.5. How many's in the class? I haven't had a chance to look. Guys.
I don't know how many.
Nine.
Go ahead.
Nine.
Nine.
That don't go 300 feet.
Yep. Don't go 300 feet.
2.
So you're gonna say you're taking the under.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably take the under too.
That's a good. I like it. I like it. What will be the engine brand of the unlimited class winner? Now, Larry, that's a tractor with more than one motor.
I'm familiar with
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Miner Brothers MBR, Hemi, or BAE Hemi, Brad Anderson Hemi, a Venny Hemi, or an other,
Or an other.
like another,
like a
new-
Noonan, like a Noonan,
Like
a
a
Noonan,
Yeah.
Noonan.
A
Noonan, as they say.
Like it for some.
like it for some.
I'll go with the other.
Uncle Dave. Okay.
Well, to coincide with my pick for tonight, I'm gonna say
You gotta
MBR.
be on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think
be
about that.
conflicting, yeah.
That's the problem. You know, like with the prop picks versus your picks of the class, you kind of got to line that stuff.
You're
up.
able to
Otherwise-
remember.
pulling
By
fans
the time I get to it, I
now,
forget.
I will say
I'm not
that
gonna
is,
lie.
that is
like,
tough.
who did I pick?
That is tough.
Stock
I'm like,
class?
damn, who did I pick? Yeah.
Pulling fans, if you are just becoming aware, Jesse Petro is prepared for his picks as much as he is his two-wheel
Well,
drive.
I do try
There's
to
one
be.
thing this guy is not. That's ever unprepared. So he's taking that
He does
same
his
element to the
homework.
full pull app. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go MBR just with my pick.
What's Bollinger's run?
MBR.
Yeah, MBR.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess they got a new wheelman tonight.
Yeah, Craig
Yeah.
Corzine?
Substitute driver. Pretty
That's
good.
so-
He's not new, but he's new to that.
I think
He's not new.
I think he's drove a mod a couple times
Yeah, he
somewhere.
has.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
won it a couple times.
A couple times.
But it's been a couple years since he drove with screws on, so
He's
that
test
change
hook
things.
too.
Oh, so he gets to practice.
He is test hook.
We do get to practice.
You
One
do get
guy-
to practice?
One guy a night gets to
Yeah,
practice.
yeah.
Can we build an app just for old people like Larry? Like just so you can just compete against other old people?
Well, you just well build one for
Like a
fat
senior
people
store?
too,
Like-
then.
like the-
Well, no, I didn't say you're
You know,
fat.
like-
I mean,
no,
you are.
I
I
did.
wasn't
Like
putting
the
it out there.
senior store? Is that what you're getting at?
You know what?
Yeah,
I
like
get
the
a
senior
discount
store.
at White Castle, so hush. 10%.
Just White Castle?
Well, other places too, but I don't brag about them.
Chicken rings are excellent there.
Yes, they are.
How do we get
Rich
on
White.
White Castle?
What do you got, buddy? Brad Anderson, Vinny, Minor Brother. Did you say other? You
I
picked
said
other.
other.
I said other.
My bad. I forgot.
attention.
I have a short. I have
To me,
18.
the
what I heard.
lineup,
Sorry.
the polling order, I think, is going to be pretty crucial tonight in the unlimited class.
Yeah.
I think the
MBRs are
track
the first two.
the track conditions are. I'm going to probably say deteriorate.
Yeah,
in
if
that
it
class.
stays, if it's a one laner.
Yeah. So
Which
to me,
track are
that's-
they on?
That affects
I don't know.
it.
They're on
they
the west track.
downside,
yeah.
It may be a one laner.
Just like
again.
last night.
One laner.
Yeah. That's
Total number of sled resets for all classes combined in session 3. Over 1.5
6 classes.
or under 1.5. So I think we had 3 sled resets. I know the first 2 classes.
I said it would be over last night. I was
Because
correct.
new track. Yeah.
I'd say there'll be 3
again.
again.
I picked the over.
Picked you over.
Yeah.
Those
I don't know
have
if it'll be
so
three.
the first couple weeks we did this, the unders were carrying. Now it's like it's kind of the tide has changed. So
Yeah.
no guarantees on the full pull props game.
You know, again, I mean, that's a hard job for Vaughn and Big and Donnie to do anywhere. And then when you throw
Well, you don't want to be short.
tricky track conditions in there, you know, it makes it tough.
I think it makes you feel better to reset the sled on a long run than a short one, to be honest.
Well,
what would you rather have, a real hard one, Jesse, or like a 390?
From what I've heard from sled operators, they would rather be short because then they can lengthen it out
Okay.
versus, you know, if somebody, you know, if Craig Corzine in the unlimited class goes 365, okay, you probably are going to reset it. Well, do you take 20 feet out? Do you take 40 feet out? And usually it becomes not pretty when they start taking 40 feet out.
And if you take a weight in or out, one of those 2,000-pound weights pretty well is equivalent to 20 feet.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah,
Somebody,
you,
an
you
expert
add
like
one,
yourself.
you'll go 20 feet
I'm
less.
learning a lot
take
up
one
here
out.
on this. I'm kind of like just sitting back
If you would have
listening.
got Nichols to give you your gear ratio today, would have been a win for you, Richardson. So.
Jesse's got to win. He'll be up there one day and tell us.
Class with the furthest distance pulled. So I'm going to name the classes. So out of those, who's going to have the longest?
Unlimited.
Last night it would have been.
It'll be unlimited. That's
who was-
okay. You
who
can
was
name
last
them.
night?
I
Light Supers, Pros, Semis, Super Farm, Super Stock Diesel, Unlimited.
Unlimited.
actually picked Pro Stock.
I'm going to say Semi.
I'll pick Pro
You
Stock.
Not
would.
that nobody cares
You would.
about my feelings or picks, but I'm going to say Semi. You like Pro Stock?
Yeah.
That's cool,
I think
Jesse.
I think that'll get I think that'll get run out there a little
You know,
bit.
I
like
honestly
that pick,
believe
Jesse.
Pro Stock right now is the most competitive class NTPA has.
I do too.
As far
It's-
as you can't really pick a winner every time, there's no one
pretty-
dominant. They're all tough.
Well, I mean, to be in the
pretty
Pro
good.
Stock game, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
another subject, I feel like.
Yes, it is.
But not today.
That gets into expensive counts. We don't want to do that.
Class with the shortest distance pulled in session 3. Light Super, Pro, Semi, Super Farm, Super Stock Diesel, Unlimited.
Light Super. Shortest distance pulled, Light
Light
Super.
Super?
Yeah,
one will cough, probably.
Yeah, I actually picked.
They'll
Light Super,
sneeze.
too.
One of them will sneeze.
Yep, sneeze and cough.
And-
Technical
Time,
term, sneeze.
When, and Chase Richardson screwed this up last night because he was at 2 vehicles on 2 different tracks at the same time. I saw old Uncle Dave grab him and jump in the golf cart, and they boogied. But what they tried. Time when the last vehicle finishes tonight? Earlier than 10 or later than 10?
I picked later.
Later?
I picked 10-15 last night later, and I'm going to do it again.
Nice. Nice.
I think it'll be close. You know, like anything, it depends on track conditions. You know how well prepared the track is, how long it takes to get. But then there's variables of people breaking and things like that.
Right.
You know, how many are going to get hauled off with a hook.
How long does it take to drag
The,
it off
the,
the
the old
track?
telehandler pick.
Yeah, the old telehandler
That was
pick.
fun.
You know,
Chapel Hill.
so a lot of that stuff plays into it. So hopefully it's right around that mark because that's a good. That's a 4-hour show is good because people's attention spans are
Yeah.
not what they used
I
to
love
be.
that
No,
this show
heavens no.
starts at 6 too. By the way.
Yeah.
I
Big
love
fan
that
of the
last
6
night
o'clock start.
they had their best Thursday night they've ever had for a crowd.
Yeah.
Thursday nights are tough, and I know why they want Thursday nights. I know why they want days because they want every single Grand National class. They want
Sure.
to be in that.
Yeah.
They want to be mentioned in that Toma, Bowling Green, Chapel Hill chatter.
Sure.
They want to, and they have been.
Well, and their goal is to
Over
become a
years.
super national sometime.
But the only way to
Yeah.
do that is to have every class.
Right.
And it's hard. And to see the fan support last night for a Thursday night,
Yeah.
and as they get it,
It was definitely better
Yep.
than last year for sure.
Oh, yeah.
you know, and a day session today was I wasn't here Friday during the day last year. I pulled on Thursday night last year and left, so I don't remember exactly. But
You used to
everybody's
pull?
in good spirits.
I'll shut up.
So
We're
You
getting
did-
crunched with time here.
just set it
Jesse,
up there.
thanks again for coming.
Yeah,
I think
thanks for
we-
having me.
No, before we finish here, you're in the diesel burning pick hot seat, so you can't leave the stage without making your picks. We're just taking a winner, all 6 classes tonight. Larry, we're going to do this the quick way.
Yep.
Larry, I'm going to go down the list. You reel them off, then we'll go Jesse reel them off. So
All right.
Larry, Semi,
Playing with
one
fire.
pick, playing with fire. Light super stock.
Cheezic tractor.
Which one?
he doesn't care.
I don't care.
Pro stock.
Schmuckers.
Either one.
Either one.
Unlimited.
Really?
Probably for some. He's on a roll.
Okay. Got the homer pick there. Super Farm.
John Silsby.
Last but not least, Super Stock Diesel.
Rooster tonight.
Roosters
Back
back
to
to
back.
back. Calling it.
Wow.
Jesse,
I'm ready.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Is it getting hot?
Yep.
Light Super Stock.
Rex Coon.
Rex Coon. Jesse's once again the most prepared man in tractor pulling. There's no wavering. He already knows who it is. Pro Stock.
X.
Loud and Heavy X.
Yep.
Super
I'm
Farm.
glad how you came up with that real quick. I was impressed with your wittiness there.
Super Farm.
Ryan Anderson.
Super
him
Stock Diesel. This guy's not breaking a smile every answer he gives to. I don't know how good the camera is.
Educated
Schlabel.
guest.
Bone Twister. Unlimited.
Bauer.
And then Semi.
Lonnie Saylor.
I like it.
That's a win. That's all business right there.
It is.
Schultz, you want to make your picks?
Nope.
He's not prepared. That's why.
Good, 'cause
I'm
most
not.
the goal.
He already made him. He just forgot him.
Yeah.
I did actually, Jesse.
The goal is to keep people tuned in, not have them turn it off. So we'll avoid having to make the picks.
I'm not afraid to
Awesome.
make my picks. I
2
feel
more
like-
points for Chase.
Write it
I feel
down.
like the only reason
Send me
you're on
the
the
send me
show
the check.
is because you're
Turn the
part of
lights
Full
off.
Full, and
Yeah.
we have 2 distinguished guests, and
For sure.
I'm not sure why I'm here, to be completely
I'm not
honest with you,
distinguished,
but I'm
trust
just
me.
honored to be here.
Jason, Larry, it's been fun. Jesse,
Truck
best
and
of luck
tractor
tomorrow.
pulling
Appreciate
is
it.
the greatest
Thank you, Chase.
motorsport in the
Thanks for
world.
having me.
NTPA.tv for the live stream, NTPA.pull, NTPApull.com for live results, fullpull.us. Make your picks, win the cash, get a chance to drive the super modified two-wheel drive full pull truck in Bowling Green, Ohio.
It just got released on PRI. Top news on story.
That's kind of a big
Check
deal.
PRI.
Now what happens if I win? Do I get to drive it?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say we'll probably
What could
see
go
a hell of a
wrong?
run. Hey, that truck will actually make a good run for once.
Yes. Actually, it'll go from exhibition to you can drive it
I
in
was
the real
gonna
class.
say no. It'll probably hurt me. Hell.
Yeah, no. It could show its true potential finally.
I-
After all this summer,
Do
we
I
finally get some
get
real
to
potential.
work on it before I drive it?
Oh, if you do it, only. I get it
If
now.
he does work on it, wouldn't a fan get to adjust the fuel and the timing?
That was money.
Oh,
Picho.
that-
Good job.
We're gonna do a
Jesse, you're gonna have to
side
do the show
contest.
again.
It's just subtle.
I'm snipping that
If you-
out.
We've talked
We're
about it
snipping that
already
out.
in private.
If you win the contest, you can hire Jesse Petro to tune it for expensive costs.
I
So
can
as
do that.
fun as it would be for an average fan to win it, I would love to like a diesel super stock puller. Somebody totally not in the class. That would be so cool to see.
You
Like
just
a
want to
big
drive
one.
it yourself.
I do not. If you won't let me drive it anyway, you'll say I fixed it.
We gotta go. They're gonna kick us off the air here. So
We appreciate you,
See you tomorrow.
Poland fans. 4:45 tomorrow.
thank you.
Thanks a lot.